So we locked him up in the smokehouse cellar with the key thrown down the well. His whip got lost, his handcuffs broken, and the master will have his pay. Cause he's big enough at home, he should have known better than to try to run away.
I am John LaChapelle, First Lieutenant, Second in Command of the 9th Massachusetts Light Field Artillery. We are here at this wonderful place here at the Atwood House Museum to do a living history. We were a volunteer reserve unit held in Washington, and the first time that we had ever seen battle was on the second day of Gettysburg. We were called down on the first day and put into action on the second day. My personal opinion is that the 9th Mass is the unsung heroes of Gettysburg. On the second day, they were put out into the wheat field along Emmitsburg Road with 5 other batteries. 5 of the 6 batteries were ordered to withdraw, leaving the 9th Mass out there by themselves. We were ordered to hold our position at all hazards. So our captain, Captain John Bigelow, who was the only one that had seen action before that, was a very smart man. He decided to split the battery in 2, pointing 3 guns forward and 3 guns to our right flank, holding off 2 entire divisions from the south, Barksdale and Kershaw. And by us doing that, it allowed the secondary artillery and infantry line to reform in the rear and come forward and take control of the battle, making it a Union victory.
This particular piece is a 1846 mountain howitzer, a 12-pound mountain howitzer. It was casted in Boston in 1846. On one side of the trunnion, it'll be stamped BOS. On the other side, it will be 1846, stating the date. This particular piece was found in the 1960s. It was in a river in Liberia, found in the bottom of a river. What we believe is that they repatriated slaves back after the Civil War was over, and this particular piece was up in a tree or on a boat and fell into the river. So it was brought back to us, and we've been giving its history, built a carriage for it, and been firing it ever since. It was effective for short yardage. It could take out a path the width of a football field of anything in its path, to simulate what would happen if you had a block wall. For instance, you could just have a shot sent at it, and it would take out that and any length of people along with it.
There were some women that followed the battles, and they would be on the outskirts of the camp and maybe set up a laundry station or even a bathtub, so that the men would, pay maybe a dime and get a nice bath because they hadn't had one in weeks. Do some laundry for them, mend some clothes if the men didn't do it themselves, which a lot of times they did. But that way it added some money for the women's income. And there were over 400 women documented that disguised themselves as men and fought in the Civil War. There were also the women that were spies. They helped the cause that way, using their womanly wiles. One, because they didn't think that women were smart enough, so they would have these meetings, and the women would be there to serve refreshments and such, and the men thought they weren't smart enough to understand what was happening, and so then the women would transfer the information on. Or of course, there were other ways to get the men to speak.